Good evening, my viewers. I welcome you back on your favorite show, Rubaru with Pooja Panga. And Rubaru is an online talk show on self help and is initiative by Soul Setu Wellness Foundation. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel if you have not done it so far. So, Rubaru goes live every Thursday at 5 p.m. on YouTube as well as Facebook. Today we have Aditya Datta. I would like to introduce our guest to you, my viewers. Aditya is an international speaker, psychologist, and certified regression therapist trained under the pioneer in regression therapy, Dr. Newton Kondawati. He works at Life Foundation, Hyderabad, India. His own gender identity crisis put him on the path of holistic healing. This led him undergo various trainings in numerous traditional and non-traditional techniques. His innovative work with adults, families, and children moves them through an effective transformational process, uncovering and clearing their issues. His vision is a world where human beings live with their full potential. His mission is self mastery and build safe places where this change can happen. So, we are very, very glad today to welcome Aditya on our Rubaru show. Welcome, Aditya.
Namaste, Pooja ji. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you for sparing time for our show.
Very happy
So,
to be here, Pooja ji, and thank you for this opportunity.
pleasure is
And
ours, Aditya. So, where to start from? You start with your journey. How did you got into spirituality and you chose this path?
yes, so I would say, Pooja ji, we all have this um, deep call inside us. I'm sure we all feel this. It is not in words, but there's something that we are all called to. I'm sure we all feel it somewhere, and we just need to take a step to listen to that call, the soul's call,
Hmm.
and follow it, right? So like everyone, I had that call, and from the very childhood I have been like, there is a calling that I'm being called somewhere. And
Yeah.
I was also, yeah, I was born with this gender identity, you can say, crisis. I was confused about my gender, and always I felt that I am in a wrong body. I'm in a
Hmm.
wrong physical body. So just to tell you, I was born in a female physical body, and
Oh.
I felt like I'm a male always, right? So that's how my confusion journey and my pain all started as a child. So all my teens and most of my adulthood has gone into this confusion. So I had a different voice inside me telling me to follow, like what I'm feeling. But you know how the society and parents, they, of course, they are, they always want my best. So they give me some other direction. So that is where how the journey started, listening to that call that took me into to meet many masters. And of course then I met my guide, Dr. Newton, in 2008. And the first time I heard somebody telling me that you follow your heart, you follow your heart, that changed my life, right? So I started following my heart, and this journey took me to uh, understanding my real identity and what I really want. And I had a path going into my transition, also my physical transition, not only my uh, inner transition but my physical transition. So I find my journey moving from one polarity to the other polarity. So I got an opportunity Yeah. So, from the feminine gender into the masculine, not only emotionally, but also from the physical shift, it happened. So I'm not here definitely to tell anybody to follow my journey. That's not the purpose. But I realized that my soul had chosen uh, this shifting for
Yeah.
some experience that I can share with people. Right. So this is what I'm here for. This is what I call the divine union, which we are going
Mm.
to talk about. Right. I hope I have answered your question. I just went into my history.
No, no, not. We actually want to know more about it. So, tell us how spirituality played a role in your journey.
Yes.
How
So,
you got the clarity with, the techniques you talked about. How did you do that?
right. So, I would say as a child, I have been always like a spiritual bent. I was,
Okay.
even as a child, I used to meditate
Mm.
regularly. Like, and I when I went through this confusion, my search was never into that external factor. I had never considered that. But the journey took me to take decisions, because even the physicality is important. You see, physicality is important. So I was always connected to my heart in this journey. And I think this hard journey led me to find my guide. And through the help of many modalities, like let's say past life regression, I saw many lives, maybe hundreds of lives, to tell me why exactly I have chosen this kind of birth. And then I did like many courses with Dr. Newton. I was trained under him. I have been with him for like more than 10 years now, using this modality on myself and others. Right. So that's how I think I could find my answers, and I could find my center. So that's what I'm saying. It's the call of the soul, and you exactly know that yes, you're aligned to that. So it's more of a deeper feeling where you are balanced, right? And this is what divine union is all about. Like, right? So it's like that one point, that center where you are, and you know that. You are following the right direction, because you are happier, you are calmer, you have good relations around you.
Around. Hmm.
Yes, you are aligned.
You
Mostly you are
are
aligned. So
right.
I initially I could not understand this word. What is aligned? What is to be
Mm.
aligned? But alignation means that your physical, your emotional, your mental, your intellectual, your spiritual, all these five levels are in
Yes.
sync, right? And that's what your journey is all about. So though I was confused, and it's quite a roller coaster journey for me, but I could feel that I'm aligned, because all these levels could they were in sync for me to find my journey, for find my truth. Yes, Pooja.
So I think you are one of the blessed ones, because most of the people, they keep, finding the purpose of their life, and their calling. They don't understand what their calling is. So we are so happy that you could find that.
Yes,
So
yes.
today we are talking about divine union of consciousness and energy. So first tell us what is consciousness, what is energy, and then what is the divine union you are talking about.
So these are big terms. I actually put it because I
Yeah.
love these terms, but we talk in a very simple way to understand it. See, the thing is, we have all understood that self love and forgiveness. These are the ultimate ways to heal ourselves, right? Until we get to love ourselves, we really don't. No healing works for us. Nothing will
Correct.
work for us, right? Self love is so crucial. And when I say divine union, now this is what my journey has been, to discover that we are not like if I'm born as a male, I'm not just a male, I have feminine qualities, right? So we are all having this two qualities inside us, the masculine and the feminine qualities inside us. And what happens is, I think throughout our life we are looking for that right person to come into our life, somebody else to come, somebody else to love us, right? So even it happened to me, because I had this crisis and I was looking for, somebody who can understand me, that right relation, somebody who can recognize me. But what happens is, luckily, when you get the right guidance, I'm one of the blessed one to get the right guidance. Very important. So that master, like, will guide you, will drive you into yourself. That force that we are trying to project outside, that energy that we are looking outside. Ki bhai, where is my truth? Where is my love? So that master will put that thing back into you, and it is so beautiful to discover yourself through that. So I like this quote: if you want to find love, it's time to become love. It's simple as that, right? It is definitely time for all of us to become love, right? And definitely when you become love, you do find those kind of people around you where you physically also you connect to them. But until you become love, how will we find love, right? So in becoming that love, when we are bringing that self love to ourselves, this is a more deeper form which I have found, is to know the masculine and the feminine dynamics. See, I have to be a warrior and I have to also nurture myself. That's how life goes, right? You have to be directional. Masculine energy is directional. It is moving from in to out, right? And feminine is the opposite. It is more of a cyclic energy. Yes, out to in. Mostly it is out to nurturing, caring, loving, right? So what happens is, in your life, to become an individual, to become, because see, Poojaji, I feel you will agree with me that all of us are looking for becoming whole. We want to be
Right.
whole somewhere, like
Everybody wants to.
हाँ पूरा होना चाहते हैं हम, है ना?
Right.
We say in the Hindi word ardhangini, we call it ardhangini. मतलब आधा पार्ट है आप, मतलब आधा पार्ट मेरा है नहीं, मैं आधा हूँ. So we are all brought up believing that we are half,
Yeah.
and we have to
We
be
are
whole.
looking for other half. And that's
Yes,
how we get into relationships and
right, right.
marriage.
Exactly. So we all believe that we are half, and we have to look for our half. And that's what happens when we step into the spiritual line, or maybe whatever we call it, spirituality. I don't even want to call it spirituality. It is your own search, or whatever you name it is okay, right? But you are looking for that love, and you find that love is not outside, it's inside you. So basically, if I have a masculine expression, see, I would be very focus oriented. I love my job, I want to do so I have a focus, I'm going straight, my journey is linear,
Mm.
right? And I keep affirming that. But in that journey, now I need some break also. I need to nurture myself also. Otherwise, how do I keep on going straight? I'm not like a machine, or I don't. So every person, be it male or female. So for a male, I'm giving an example of male because that's what I identify myself with the most. So I needed, okay, when I'm going straight into my journey, I have a vision, I have a target. I also need to get into that very restful, nurturing place where, I want to just drop myself and, relax and nurture, from where again that energy will be generated for me to again keep going into my mission. Right. And for a woman, it would be the other way, because that's how I see, masculine energy, they will put career front. You will see men with career as the first thing, family is the second, right? For women, and now when I'm saying women or men, so let me replace the word with masculine and feminine, because people get confused. It's not about women as in, in quotes, like the women that we see, but the feminine energy. Now the feminine energy, she wants to always keep the love and the nurturing care. The family is in the front, her career is secondary, where she's moving, right? So,
No,
in the yes, yes,
no,
please.
then I'll ask you.
Okay, right. So what I'm saying is, in the nurturing, caring environment, she might, because women energy is like that. She might get so much into it, she might lose a direction.
Right.
She might lose a direction, just going nurturing and caring and, in love and becoming love. She needs to be anchored. She needs an anchor, right? So the masculine energy gives her a direction. Masculine energy anchors her, right? And so when we have both the energies together, so for example, if we see a couple who is we see like a balanced couple, we'll see the masculine and the feminine energy very balanced in them. So then, so I said the masculine is like linear and the feminine is more of a circular movement. So when they meet, it's more of a spiral movement and they can move upward, right? So the evolution can happen, right? So so similarly, if a couple outside can become like that, we have to have that in our inner realization. First, the masculine feminine inside us needs to be realized, and there need to be something I call like an inner marriage. Inner marriage is important for
That's
that
such a nice
divine.
word.
Sorry.
Wow. That's such a nice word you said, in a marriage.
Inner marriage, yes.
That's
So
very
when the
good.
inner marriage, when it happens, then we know how much to work, how much not to work. How much I have to go into my emotion. Emotion is important, but if I completely dive in my emotion, what happens? Many like so-called females when I work with, they are so emotional about things. They are being swayed away with that. They don't have an anchor.
So, you, Abhi, mentioned while talking about this, that feminine and masculine. So, you are talking about the energies. You are not talking about a male or a female, right? So,
Exactly.
sometimes it happens, like you said, ki anchoring. Generally, it happens in female that they need an anchor, but maybe in male also, people like to cook, take care of household things, take care of their children. But there is a very less acceptability in our society for that, where I can see in abroad or other countries, it is not like that. What do you have to say about it?
Yes, so you can say the I would take the example of the LGBTQ community here, because I feel they are here. They took birth to break the barriers. The breaking the barriers is important, right? Yes, LGBTQI makes the society very uncomfortable with their approach, but if you see the higher perspective of this community is to break the barrier. They are saying don't stick to the external labels, right? Follow your heart, and you are so much than what we think. Actually, Poojaji, I think LGBTQI is in everyone's head. Everyone
Hmm.
has that insight. We don't want to look at it. It is so colorful to look at it. So I'm not saying we have to act like that, but it is okay to accept this, because yes, we are all Ardhanareshwar inside, right? If Shiva can stand as a half a woman, as a half man, right? We are all Ardhanareshwar, right? So we also have that kind of identity. So this gripping that you're talking about is a society which is unfortunately that aggressive man. I call it toxic masculinity, right? And there is also a toxic femininity, but right now world is being led by toxic masculinity. So it is all about like power, and I have to so it is more imposed that way, right? And so for this divine masculinity needs to come up, and for that divine feminine help is required. right? The females are now rising. They are also becoming Durgas and Shakti and Kali, and Kali Roop is also important sometimes. If things go haywire, तो खड़ग लेके आना पड़ता है काली जी को to set things right. Yes, so so to answer you, we have to ignite the more of the divine feminine. Yes, divine feminine is required. Mother energy is more required. All the boys have gone astray. They have lost their path. So only the mother can bring the boys, the men's, actually all boys, because they have not turned into men, matured men, right? So matured men is about the divine masculinity, right? All the Shivas have forgotten that they are Shiva, right? And they are all Shava right now. So they have to awaken. So for that, the feminine, the divine feminine, the Shakti is rising and helping the to awaken the Shiva. You have seen the picture of Kali standing on Shiva, and she's waking Shiva up. Yeah, so kind of similar situation right now, I feel.
Okay, Aditya, tell me, the topic of our talk today is the divine union of consciousness and energy. So,
Yes.
does that mean Shiva and Shakti? The
Yes.
balance of Shiva and
Right.
Shakti?
So more of the metaphysical term I have kept is consciousness and energy. See, what we have known is like how it was Brahmanda earlier. It was like nothingness. So Shiva is, we can't give form to Shiva. It's like stillness. So we
Right.
call it pure consciousness. It's like nothing, right?
Nothing.
So from the nothing, something started coming. What started coming? It's some kind of light, vibration, energy, right? Now when the nothingness is taking one form, right, that is becoming something. So nothing we call Shiva and something we call Shakti, right? So we have called Shakti in the more purer form. Shakti is like energy, or whatever we see around, whatever we can touch, feel, smell, whatever, any senses we can use to perceive something is Shakti, right? So consciousness and energy, when they meet, now how the energy can be driven to the right means to evolve in a way that it helps everyone, right? So that's the right evolution. So when the energy has to move, it has to follow the consciousness. Energy without consciousness is haywire. For example, it's kind of noise. If there is no beats, rhythm in a music, it's a noise.
Yeah.
Similarly, energy without consciousness, it's directional. It will destroy. Energy can destroy otherwise, because she has so much power. She can, she can just move around, right? So the consciousness, the Shiva, is required to hold on that energy. So what does that means in our inner sense? We all have energies. We all have consciousness, right? When our energy, our whatever work we are doing, if we are not aligned to our higher self, right, we can destroy. That energy can get into waste. But when we are aligned, when our energies are aligned to our consciousness, we can evolve. The same happens in meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is about your body, your breath, everything is Shakti, right? But your awareness, where is your awareness? With the breath, with your body, how you are sitting. So that awareness is Shiva. That is consciousness, right? So consciousness is your awareness, and the entire thing, whatever you are saying, is Shakti. So this is meditation is again an inner marriage. It is inner marriage, right? Whenever we meditate, we are going into it. So more and more we meditate, we get into this balance of Shiva Shakti, or masculine feminine, and we don't require, actually, whole life we keep seeing, looking outside. Oh, I'm a male, I need some female to be with me. Yes. Or a female need, oh, I'm so haywire, I need some male to anchor me, I'm so emotional, I need some support, like that. But this can be developed inside. This can be developed inside. Yes. And when we develop inside, then only we attract the right partner in our life also. It happens physically also. So divine union is a relationship that you first have with yourself: physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual.
And
First you are aligned, then when you are aligned, you attract one person in the physicality, where you are connected to that person: physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. So you have this deep, and we are all yearning for that connection, right?
so
And
with that, I can just something comes in my mind. So that is the reason, because most of us are not connected to ourselves these days. So bad marriages are happening, more divorces are happening, more issues in relationships are happening. Is that so?
yes, yes, because most relationships are karmic relationship, right?
Mm.
Very, the terms that we use, like soulmate or twin flames.
Mm.
We sometimes use these terms very loosely, but twin flame has to be realized inside first before we attract the twin flame outside, right? It's very intense relationship. We all would love to have it, but when it happens, we can't demand for these relationships. These are like grace coming to us. These are like blessing coming to us when it happens in the physical plane. I know people who are living with their twin flames. I know how gracious they look, so gracious their life is. They are so purpose oriented. They're living with full awareness. It's like seeing one couple, enlightened couple, and
Mm.
one enlightened couple has the power to send that beautiful energy across the world.
It's
This
good. Yes.
divine union can benefit the entire world. They with their union, blessing everyone. We
Mm.
don't find these relationships, very less, but there are people who are living in divine union, first
Mm.
inside and then
You're
outside.
going
Yes,
outside.
yes, yes. And so the divine union needs to happen inside. So in very
So
simple terms, Pooja,
develop,
yes,
yeah, you said we can develop that Shiva and Shakti and that balance in us. How can
yes,
we do that? With simple techniques and everyday life, what we can do to balance the Shiva and Shakti in us?
right. So simple things which I can give you an example is, you are doing some exercise, okay,
Mm.
because you have to be slim and trim. You are doing exercise, your push-ups and all. But listen to the body. Don't torture the body, right? So okay, you're going to gym, hitting the gym, great, but nourish yourself. That's the feminine quality, right? So don't go into such a way that you lose contact with the body. Your body goes numb and you have big muscles. You don't feel anywhere. That is not fitness, no, right?
So
Everything requires a
you are
balance.
you are in continuous contact with the machines, and to
Yes,
have balance, we need to be grounded and have more contact with the surroundings and the Mother
exactly.
Earth.
Exactly. Grounding is the word, right?
Mm.
So when we are grounded, we will not torture our body.
Mm.
Another example, eating. Okay, I'm eating good food. Okay, too much good food. What will happen? No, it will not good for my system. I'm not. My eating is an action, and let me call it a masculine aspect. Is not aligned with what I'm feeling,
Mm.
right? My body can't take. My stomach is saying, crying, I can't take it, but I'm doing an action, so I'm again not aligned. So you name anything in relationship, in abundance, money give and take, right? If I am just a taker, I am a miser, I keep hoarding money, how will I attract abundance, right? So taking means just the female. Oh, poor me, just give me money. Oh, my lord, give me money. Just taking, I don't give, right? So
So that
giving
flow
and
of
receiving,
energy, that flow of energy has to be there in
right?
every
So
aspect.
giving and receiving.
Mm.
If I
Giving
sleep,
and
yes, if I sleep too much, even if it's a Sunday, if I sleep 14 hours, what will happen? I'll become more clumsy,
mm.
right? How much to sleep? how much to eat, how much to exercise, how much to sleep, how much of whatever, how much to be in a relationship. If I'm continuously with my partner, with my wife, she will be so irritated. Okay, I need my space also. So a little of communion and then little of my space. How much? How much is it for me? And who will tell me it is how much? So the balance will tell me this much. It is time for me to now go into my space. Let me just move into my space. Okay, I relax. I have my time. Again, I go back into the communion. Right? So people are missing these things in a relationship. We are in relationship. We think the other person has to give me that what I'm looking for. So we keep nagging, you have to satisfy this for me. That is my agreement. When we got married, that is what you wrote. You will give me this. You have to give me this, right? So yeah. So this external dependency, we need to look into the inside. So we have this inside dependency, and not the external one. Yeah.
I think you have explained it very well. And of course, in every aspect in life, if we live with awareness and balance, so everything becomes beautiful because you stop giving energy to small, small things and get irritated and frustrated because you have that connection with yourself and you are at
Yes.
peace. When you are at peace with yourself, then of course you have, peace outside also. So
Exactly.
most of the aggression comes because we are not peaceful inside. We don't
Right.
balance ourselves inside.
Yes, and because I work with people, I come across many people. They call themselves spiritual, and they go too much into spirituality. They're
Hmm.
not balanced. They're not grounded. And they lose the balance. They lose the balance. They can't. They get into mental problems, mental issues, right?
Hmm.
Because too much again, too much spirituality is problem. Why are you there now? Otherwise, in the home, you're not in the Himalayas or in some monastery practicing extreme things. No, you have chosen Madhya Marg, right? So you
Hmm.
have to be in the Madhya Marg. That is what is Buddha is talking about, right? Buddha is what? Buddha is divine union, right? He has reached that divine union of masculine and feminine.
So you were just talking about twin flames. What is twin flames?
So
One
twin
of our
flame. Yes, twin flame is that part of you that we want to attract. You feel that, oh, I missed something in my life, and
Hmm.
this twin flame comes at a point of time when you are in the twin flame will put you in your highest potential. The twin flame will connect you to your passion. The twin flame will take you into your next evolution level. So when you have a twin flame, life is very intense. You can't relax, lie down, and no. It's very intense relation. And this intense relation first happen with your own self. When you find the purpose of your life, you meet the twin flame there, right? And then there might be a physical person coming to us because the physical manifestation also happens. It's the layer, the physical, as I'm again talking, physical, mental, emotional, right? Then intellectual, then spiritual, right? Now spiritually, I have now realized, so now spiritual, it will come down now, the reverse, from the
Hmm.
spiritual back into the physical. So if you have realized twin flame inside you, in your, because you have found your purpose, you have found your potential, you have realized it, now one day it will come to the physical plane, it will manifest, right? And that's a blessing, that's a reward that you get from your sadhana, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I say, twin flame has to be realized inside. That's, we need to follow that first, right? Because we keep around looking around for twin flame, and that we get so confused about that.
Hmm. So
Yes.
while you are saying, I am feeling so much, happiness from inside. The words you are saying is like, really making sense to me.
Yes, yes, yeah, and it is so relieving to know that the entire system is within us, Pujaji. Like we don't really have to depend on anything. I mean, of course, if I have a partner, I can share a lot. I can celebrate. That's beautiful. But why do I have to, crib for things? Why do I have to depend for things on somebody else? Right. So that is what my journey has taught me, that, it is inside you. I was sticking into a gender. No, I'm not that gender. I am this gender only. And my higher soul has planned such a in such a way that I had to look into myself and question, what is this masculine, what is this feminine, right? And how do I bring this balance inside myself? How do I feel whole, right? So it's both ways. So when I found the purpose of my life, what I had I never thought that I'm going to talk about all this ever in my life, never. And I was not like this person that you're seeing right now. I was a very, very introvert person, right? But when this union happened, I had such huge energy in me. It pushed me to talk about my journey to others. It said,
Right.
you don't hide this, right? Don't hide this. Talk to people about your journey. Stand in front of people where people are fighting with gender. So gender war has to end. Masculine feminine war needs to end, and that war is inside us more than outside.
Right. If you're comfortable with yourself, then it doesn't matter, because
Yes.
people always have that crisis in between their own inner self. That's where the war starts.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's not only about the journey you had as a female or as a male. Also, sometimes people have their tendencies. As a female, they are like the boss of the house, and they are taking all the decisions, and they are
Right.
the upfront. And being a male also, sometimes people, like we just discussed before. So I think that clarity has to be there, and
Yes.
acceptance has to be there.
Right. I'll give you an example here, Pooja ji. Like the same example that you're giving, like a female who is a boss, she's running a company, right? So when she goes into her work and her company, she works, she has to manage everything. Sometimes her tone has to be strong to make orders, give orders so that the company runs. But the same woman, when she comes back home to her child, to her husband, she becomes that nurturing feminine. So
Yeah.
she's using her masculine to in her career to run a company. And when she gets home to her baby, to her husband, she's a divine feminine. So this is how we can use the divine masculine and feminine, and we all have that inside us, right? A man also has the same thing, right? He's playing the two roles, and if we can play that, then we will be living as full potential. And now
Right.
this woman will attract another man who is also so balanced. This man can cook, he can take care of the baby, he can run the house, no problem. And this man can also be a warrior, right?
Mm.
So they have such a balanced relation. So what I see, Pooja ji, is if you see even the past lives, we are born into two polarities, two poles: extreme
Mm.
feminine, extreme masculine,
Mm.
right? Extreme feminine is too much. They're very dainty, very delicate. Yes.
Mm.
And extreme masculine, you can say the military kind, military or the GI Joe,
Mm.
the warrior kind, right? And more and more you get mature in your journey through incarnations. You're being born as many times male, female, male, female. We have all born as different genders. So we
Right.
start coming in between, in between the scale, right? So
Mm.
this is where the divine union is, right? So
Very beautiful.
and the beauty is, when a person comes into divine union, many people ask me, don't you think we'll lose the polarity? We won't be that. No, when you are in the divine union, then you can play your role much better. Then
Mm.
if you choose to dance like a woman, or to be, or maybe dance like a man, then you can choose your role more beautifully. So only a
Mm.
balanced feminine can be very, very graceful outside.
Mm.
Only a balanced male can be very graceful male outside.
Mm. So
Yes.
I think I can very, very well relate to what all you are saying, because in day-to-day life, generally the problem is that male who are, taking care of the business and going out working, and when they come back home, they still carry that baggage with them, and they have that masculine, ego self maybe, and they don't drop their, that
Yes.
masculine form, बिकॉज दे फील कि अगर हम अपना वो मैस्कुलिन, जैसे अभी आपने बोला, तो शायद पीपल विल टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ हिम, but they forget that balance. And same as in females, when they're going to work outside and they know that they are a boss, and when they come back home, they just forget that balance of, nurturance with their to their family.
Yes.
And
Yes.
where the problem starts, they have to come back as a mother or as a wife, and
Yes.
then that balance will be there, and the relationships will flourish even better.
Yes, because too much use of toxic masculine is happening, both from the feminine side and the masculine side. Males are already doing that, and also females. They because I don't want to specify any like set of people, but the so-called feminism is a lot of masculine, toxic masculinity, right? Oh, we are female and we need our right. No, if you are like really a female, you don't talk about your right. You are that, right? You are giving birth to everything, so you just become that gracefully, right? So it's a lot of toxic masculinity the earth is going through, and I'm sure the current time that we are now, uh, that's where the mother earth has taken her power back. Everything
Yes.
is rocked, and she said, "You start better, uh, respecting me. Yes, now you please come back to you're forgetting the divine feminine, right? So come back to the divine feminine. Have respect for everything around you." So we are coming back to balance. This is the time for divine union. This is the time.
Mm.
Yes, that's what I feel.
This is the best time to be with yourself, and think about yourself, connect with yourself.
Yes, yes,
Very
because every generation, Pooja ji, it is not that only females have suffered. If you see
true.
many generations, it's always like a set. It's like a cycle.
Mm.
The men will dominate, and you will go back generation when females also have dominated societies.
Mm.
It was also like that. So it's not that somewhere also I see the masculine getting that bad red flag. These bad guys, they are the
Mm.
spoilers. Not always like that. Also, toxic femininity also have ruled our planet. Toxic masculinity also have ruled our planet. So it's not about the particular gender role of feminine and masculine, but it's about both. Now both have to take responsibility and move towards their divinity, right? So toxic, I'll give you examples which I want to give. Toxic feminine can be like, let's say, she she takes advantage through her emotions. She'll keep crying, oh, and through crying she'll make her needs met. वो
Mm.
सास बहू का सीरियल होता है ना, आपको उधर बहुत ज्यादा दिखने को मिलता है टॉक्सिक फेमिनिटी, राइट? सो शी विल गेट हर नीड्स मेट थ्रू दैट. It's a wrong way to use your emotion. And same
Mm.
feminine, same toxic feminine, if she will transform to the graceful feminine, to the
Mm.
divine feminine, this same thing can be transferred to a deep groundedness. I mean, she will be a grounded woman with
Mm.
all her powers. She
Right.
does not need to beg for her emotions. No, she's like a Durga.
Mm.
She's like Shakti. She will manifest whatever she is looking for, right? She will not go the way around. And
Mm.
another example of masculinity I will give: the toxic masculine, toxic feminine, toxic and the divine masculine.
Yes.
Toxic masculinity is about competition. If I have
Mm.
to grow, I have to pull you down,
Mm.
right? If you see the divine feminine, divine masculine, he holds the space. He works on win-win. If I win, you will also win. So let me make you win, because
Wow.
if you win, I will also win.
Mm.
Right? So this is the practice of divine masculine.
Very, very, I mean, profound examples you have given, and I think our viewers are also getting this wisdom from you and clarity on many things, because this topic is very, very important but very intense. One has to really understand and come from that, aspect of receiving and openness to understand all these things. Because if you
Exactly.
are and you are not ready to, surrender, then it will just go above your head.
Yes, yes. Surrender is again a very deep, divine, feminine quality, right?
Mm.
So every student needs to be in a feminine quality, right? Because the teacher is in a masculine quality because he's giving. We won't receive if we are not in a feminine mode, right? That is the reason Radha, I'm sorry, not Radha, Mira.
Mm.
Mira, Mira has, this just small story I want to share. Mira was dancing. She's Nashe Mein Choor. She's doing the Krishna Nam, and she is mesmerized and she's intoxicated in her sadhana. And she enters into one temple, and that temple is restricted. Women can't go there. So the priest comes out. Priest comes out, and the priest says, Don't you know this is a male temple you have entered?" And so Mira says, "Who is the second male here?" Because for Mira, the male is only Krishna, male is only God. We are all feminine, we are all receiving, right? So the so-called males also, you need to know you are receiving from somewhere. Then how can you become a male? Aren't you receiving the air? Aren't you receiving the fruits, the trees, whatever? So aren't you a receiver? So when you are receiving it, you definitely you get into a feminine polarity. See, if we are stuck to one polarity, we can't. We will die of a disease. We'll die of a heart attack.
Mm.
I can't be a male all the time. All the time I'm like this. I'll have a heart attack if I'm always rigid like this. That's the reason people, who are rigid about these things, they are not flexible. They develop a lot of disease inside themselves because their energy is not flowing. It's not moving, right? So I love the story of Mira. What she says is the only masculine is Krishna, God. We are all receivers, and there is one pratha called Sakhi pratha in Bengal, where the devotees also, all the devotees, male or female, they have to wear a sari.
Mm.
They wear a sari and they say we are all beloved of Krishna. So this is just to understand that we all are in both polarity. I have full respect for people who call themselves masculine, and you are playing a role of a male or you are playing a role of a woman. It's beautiful, but inside this flexibility is so important, and that will make you more graceful.
Mm. Very, very beautifully expressed and explained, Aditya. Uh, and now, actually, I've got goosebumps after listening to all this. So, we are actually looking for a small meditation on Shiva Shakti today. So,
Yes,
we'll
yes,
discuss to
we will.
that.
We will do Shiva Shakti meditation, and I'm going to talk about the most simple Shiva Shakti meditation. Very, very simple. That is the meditation practice itself. So when you are sitting, I will first tell you what the meditation is about, and we will do it for 5 minutes. So when you are sitting, sit like feminine, sit like that you are a receiver, sit like your body is an instrument of love, sit with a lot of compassion in your heart, right? Sit like that. You are a male or a female, you need to sit like that, right? So we cross our legs, we cross our hands, and we sit very, very comfortably, right? And we close our eyes, we follow the breath. This awareness inside us is the masculine, is the Shiva. So we do this meditation for 5 minutes. I think this is Shiva Shakti, this is inner marriage, the most simple and profound meditation that we all can do daily. So friends, I invite you for this meditation. We'll just do it for 5 minutes. We close our eyes with a lot of love. We sit with a lot of grace. We sit with a surrender in our heart, loving heart, peacefully, happily. It's a joyful practice. And we cross our hands, cross our legs so that it creates a circuit. And we focus our attention with our breath. We are not doing anything. There's no hurry for 3 4 minutes. Bring your attention here and now. That is the masculine force. Bring yourself into the present moment and follow the breath. That is Shiva. And the breath and our body and our energy, all the five senses. Whatever is happening, become aware. That is Shakti. We are bringing our awareness, our consciousness to feel our body, our energy, all our senses, everything that we can perceive, everything and anything, inside or outside, we are perceiving is the Shakti, is the energy. Bringing our awareness to it is pure consciousness. So we are all sitting in divine union right now, where Shiva meets Shakti, consciousness meets energy, masculine meets feminine. Just be there. In this divine union. This is the practice of meditation. 2 minutes, let us observe this state of divine union within us. One more minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Before we open our eyes, we rub our hands. We put it on our eyes. Beautiful. So
The
yes, let the entire globe go through this divine union. Let us have divine union everywhere. And also, we need to apologize. Both the masculine and the feminine need to apologize to each other. Divine apology. It is called divine apology. We have all been very ignorant.
Mm.
So we have to all apologize to ourselves first, and also to other males, other females. We need to do divine apology, and we need to find our place. That will give us our place. That will give us our fullest expression. We have to come with our fullest expression. And this practice, meditation practice, is the most simplest, easiest thing to culture divine union. And we need to do it as per our age.
Okay.
How many minutes? That many minutes we have to do.
So, Aditya, we couldn't hold time because there is so much to talk about. I'm still thinking, I have so many questions in my mind, but we are time restrained. Maybe we'll get you another on some other episode to know
Yes.
more about it. Please quickly tell us about the book you have written.
Yes. So I have written one book about my journey. It is called Transition: Awakening Through Gender Identity. That's my journey. I have put it down, and I put it down in a way that will benefit others, because my journey is as I said, it's a little roller coaster, and people get confused with it many times. So I put it down, and I hope that can inspire many people about how gender identity can awaken us. Also, people like me who are going through gender identity crisis, it will help them. I hope it will help them. And so that's one of my book. Second book I'm writing is I'm a little bit more excited about it, because when I wrote the first book, I felt the second it is not complete, and many of my friends said the same thing. It feels incomplete. So I started writing a second book. It's called Gandharva Loka, and I got connected to a different dimension where these Gandharvas, these poets and musicians and architects and all the maestros, and there are masters. They are like shape shifters. They keep changing their shapes. So I do some of these exercises in my workshops. If I have an opportunity to conduct a workshop, sometimes maybe I can use all these tools. So shape shifting is a very beautiful exercise which are taught by those masters, and those masters, they have given this bigger spectrum of masculine, feminine, and even the sacred sexuality. So this book is almost like 90% done. I'm just working on the cover, and hope it will be out soon. So also, I would like to say that I conduct few workshops of this kind. If anybody is interested, they can maybe get in touch with Poojaji or Soul Setu. And yeah, it would be exciting if we can do some work together. I would,
I
because
know
work, yes, yes,
all the knowledge and wisdom you have just shared really, I feel that we should all actually do a workshop on divine union with you so that to understand it with more clarity and more depth. And of course, we are going to announce a workshop soon. And
wow,
thank you so much. And all the best for your second book. And do post your first book link in the comment box after
I will
the
do
after the talk is over, so that our viewers can go to the link and they can buy the book and read it.
that. That would be great. That would be great. Yes.
So thank you so much, Aditya. It was such a lovely talking to you, and I myself had gained so much from today's talk. And really, really kind of you to spare time for us from Rubaru and Soul Setu team.
Same here. I always find these journeys so enriching, because likewise, even I learn when I share. So sometimes I say something which I didn't know, and I
Mm.
realize that I've said it. From somewhere it is downloading, and it is such a learning. So I
Yeah.
wish divine union for everyone who is listening to this talk. Let us all we all deserve divine union. So let us move towards divine union. That is my wish for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, our viewers, to be being with us. And for our August, we have 15th and 16th of August. We have empowering and compelling vision board with Shubhangi. Enroll your child in this workshop to teach them beautiful, empowering way to manifest their dreams into reality. And then on 29th of August, we have dream analysis and dream decoding with Ambika Khanna. And after the first successful dream decoding workshop, we have come up again with this second time dream decoding analysis on 29th of August. It will be only 1 day, 3 hours seminar on Zoom. And then we have 22nd and 23rd August Sacred Relationship with Hitesh and Shubhangi, and it will give us a fresh perspective to look at the sacredness of every relationship. So if you feel connected to any of them, do contact us and register soon as we have limited seats. So thank you so much, everyone. Do like and subscribe our YouTube channel and stay tuned every Thursday at 5 p.m. to know more about different modalities and wellness. Thank you so much. Bye bye.